a website and contact information. Would you mind doing that for us, Terry?
Yeah, I can start off, and I'll let Dana share with me on some of that contact info, but go to americastacoshop.com. And Dana?
Our phone number is 855-55-CARNE, and that is 552-2763.
And Carne is C-A-R-N-E, for any of you who are not feeling in the Spanish mood at the moment. Yeah, it's not K or anything like that. Okay, great. So we definitely welcome back to the side of the break. We had talked a little bit about the social media and the use of the social media prior to this. Obviously, social media, especially with restaurants, has a lot to do with Yelp and Looped and Merchant Circle and making sure that you have good reviews everywhere. And Facebook is a good place to recruit those. So we may discuss a little bit offline about. Well, in fact, I don't mind sharing some of the pros and cons of a profile versus a fan page. In a profile, you actually can have an inbox where you interact directly with your friends, and you also have a chat function. So, you know, if you've got 3,000 profile members and you can interact with them that way, that's excellent. Now, Facebook frowns on that a little bit, so you, as long as it lasts, enjoy your day in the sun, but utilize it the best that you can, because those are tools that don't exist in your fan page or your timeline, as they call that. In your timeline, you don't have the inbox, and in your timeline, you don't have the chat function. However, what you do have is no limitation on how many fans you can get. So, you know, because you're going to be very, very soon, when the Kahala group gets done with you, you're going to be, you know, larger than Subway. I'm not supposed to say that. Okay. That was a figure of speech for the record. Okay. But you're going to be growing, and you're going to be growing quickly, and you are going to have a lot of fans, and where the profile, you can only have 5,000 members, and then you know, profile members, and you're done. So you definitely want to create a fan page, and then it's a good way to disseminate information, that you have the specials, that you have, you know, Tuesday Taco Day, you know, 99-cent tacos, whatever it is. I'm making it up, but that's an example of how you utilize the fan page. The other thing, too, that you can utilize is, for example, we are recording this on YouTube. So if all of you want to know how handsome Terry is, and he is, and how beautiful Dana is, and she is, then make sure you check into the YouTube account, and you'll find this stuff on YouTube. And we normally find that, you know, 10,000, 20,000 of our listeners will actually go in and view this. So it's good exposure, and so that's another good use of the social media. But then you can also, if people want to see what it's like, they're very voyeur. That's why it's called social. They want to look in on the social activities. And so if you're having a particularly good time, grab a camera, get live action, and film it at some great times that people are having, and then load that up on YouTube, and then people can actually live that experience vicariously, and they'll know where they want to take the friends next time.
I've got a story about shooting video and doing it in the restaurant. We got a call from the Food Network requesting a video of America in the restaurant, and they wanted, it came in on, I think, a Monday or Tuesday, and they wanted to know if I could have it there on a Friday. So I was scrambling, and I said, all right, baby, we need to do this. They need it. We're going to the Food Network. They didn't really tell us what it was for, but they needed it. So I had my Android phone, and I thought, you know, it shoots video of my daughter's really nice and all that. So I went ahead and shot a video on my phone at the restaurant with America that's on YouTube, I think, still today.
Absolutely.
And I sent it back to the Food Network, and they responded back. They said, you know, thank you very much for being so quick in your response. We need something a little bit more professional than your phone shooting it, Terry. So I got somebody else to come in that had some understanding of shooting a video, and we sent that back to them. But that was my experience of shooting video of America in our restaurant.
And that does bring, there's actually two types of material that go up on YouTube. One is the reality side of it, and then there's those that are, you know, still you want to have promotions that are Super Bowl quality, you know, that you're putting it out there. But if you only have one or the other, you're actually remiss. So if all you have is amazing high quality, you know, everything is that Super Bowl quality video, and you don't have the well to film like
The
you
raw,
have.
yeah, very-
Just the raw footage of what is it like over there.
Yeah.
That's what the social media is demanding. Not what television is demanding, but that's what social media is demanding. Is they want to know what's it really like unplugged, so to speak.
Yeah.
And people love that. And so, but you also don't want to not have good, well edited video either, because then they'll think that you really are just a hole in the wall, which you're not anymore. But you still are able to keep that. I think the best franchises are those that are able to keep that real homey feel to them, that they really do feel like each individual restaurant really is unique. And so we're going to learn about the plans that you have for your brand. I'm not telling you how to create your brand,
Sure.
but we are. I know these are things that people love, and maybe I'm also overriding a couple things that I love, since I love that. My wife says, you know what, you always get yourself in trouble. Like, I've eaten at all the restaurants in Cerritos almost, because there's just so many unique, different flavors, whether it be Vietnamese or Indian food, South Indian, North Indian, whatever the case might be, and then I can never go find it again, right? I mean, I get these cravings, but it's a state away, so what do I do? So that's why we love franchises. They can be brought straight to us. Okay, so what we want to talk about now, we want to, if Dana, if you don't mind joining in the conversation at this point, tell us a little bit about the Kahala Group and how, what it's for, how its history, how it got developed. What's special about the Kahala Group?
It's a great story, Kurt. Kathy and Kevin Blackwell, who are our owners, started with a smoothie concept in 1988 called Surf City Squeeze. And over the years, they built the business and continued to grow and grow, and really primarily by acquiring new brands that had already been established somewhat in the franchising arena. Eventually, they grew to acquire Great Steak and Taco Time, Blimpie, Cold Stone Creamery. And at some point, they looked around and said, you know, it's time for us to add a traditional, authentic Mexican food brand to our portfolio. Now, at this point, we have about 3,200 units. We're in 20 different countries, and we've built to 14 brands. And we find Terry Horton in America's Taco Shop. Kevin put together a group to really do some research, because we were looking for a mom-and-pop type atmosphere and mom-and-pop food, traditional recipes that we could take into a fast casual atmosphere everywhere we already are. Sure. And the team went to Texas, I believe, New Mexico, I think they went to California as well. Dan Beam, who is our brand president, along with Ernesto Salazar, stumbled across America's Taco Shop in our very backyard and just kept coming back to America's because the food was so wonderful. The quality was always consistent. It really fit with what we were looking for. And in addition, you know, the more they really dove into the concept, they saw that the ease of operations was there that would make it replicable, you know, whether we're here or in Hoboken, New Jersey, you know, the systems are the same. Sure. And the food is the same and consistent. But we were also looking for strong unit economics, and we found those in America's Taco Shop and said, hey, let's join up.
So any of you who are listening to this on YouTube later on, take notes on the criterion she just mentioned, because that's what creates a good franchisable business and also creates a good business in general. So good things to have healthy attributes for any business, but in particular if you have a restaurant, that's what would make you franchisable, in particular being duplicatable. Replicable, is that the proper word?
Yeah, well,
either
or
one.
I think either one, yeah. I'm impressed with both.
That's right. All right, excellent. So thank you for sharing that. And so, and to reinforce what I was saying earlier, the reason why you want to use a reputable group like the Kahala Group is that the franchise industry is highly regulated. And if any of you can imagine how there's anything that has to do with a high potential rate of return is something that has the potential to be abused. And so throughout the years, there's been regulation after regulation after regulation that's been piled on, just like Bernie Madoff did his thing, and so now there's more regulations that have to do with the securities industry. Well, even though it hasn't been as public and as much in the public eye, there have been similar experiences with franchising. So that what's resulted is that it's a highly regulated but very effective industry. And so if you go to the professional organizations, not a fly-by-night, a guy out of his home that's going to help you franchise, you want to deal with a reputable organization like the Kahala Group, who has an infrastructure, also somebody where you can go kick the tires. I mean, if you happen to be in Arizona, they're just in Scottsdale and Villa de Ventura. Is that okay to share?
Yeah, 101 in Villa de Ventura in the Cold Stone building.
Okay, perfect. And Cold Stone, to a certain effect, to a certain degree, put them on the map. But now what they do with the map, I think, may have a lot to do with America's Taco Shop. So now, would you like to share the Kahala Group information as well, in case there's potential franchisees that would like to call in? Or?
They can all reach me at dmead at Kahala Management. It's dmead at Kahala, KAHALAMGMT.com.
Okay, perfect. And what was the reason for Kahala? We know about where the name America came from, which is really cool. But what's the origination of the word Kahala?
Our owner, Kevin Blackwell, is very into the Hawaiian culture, and he's a very active person, and I understand those triathlons, and he spent a lot of time in Hawaii with his active and sports and lifestyle. And I think that inspired him when they came across the Surf City Squeeze concept.
Okay, well that's great. I always kind of wanted to know that. It's cool sounding, but I didn't know the official meaning behind it. So I think the culture that's developed is highly professional, but also a lot of fun as well, and it's a good culture to work with.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It was a great time.
Excellent. So now when we're getting a little bit closer to break, and when we come back from break, we do want to talk about kind of the future of America's Taco Shop, and as we talk about the future of America's Taco Shop in conjunction with the Kahala Group, if you own a restaurant, be thinking about what criterion, as we talked about already, they might be looking for, but also get some good advice about how to run your business now, and then start thinking into the future. So many you may have in mind, well, if I open another store, I'll never see my family. Well, the Kahala Group will help resolve that, so that because they have a whole professional team that helps that go. And when we come back from break, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And again, thank you for tuning into the Social Universe here on Voice America and World Talk Radio. This is Wilhelm, your host, and we are joined here by Dana Mead from the Kahala Group and Terry Borton of America's Taco Shop. So don't go away, and we'll be learning a lot more when we come back from break.